Well, good morning to you. Welcome to Up to the Minute. I'm Todd Duplantis, and happy Mardi Gras to you for those of you celebrating. All of our friends from maybe the Louisiana, the Galveston area, of course. Big day, Fat Tuesday, and we're going to talk more about that later on. But first up, I want to welcome our co-host, Dr. Nicholas Cox, joining us again this morning. Good to see you, Nick.
Thanks a lot, Todd. How was your long weekend?
It was nice. It was a bit hectic at times, but I have to say it was kind of relaxing in some ways. How was yours?
Oh, it was great. It was fantastic. Saturday, I spent some time down in Fort Bend County on the 5th anniversary of the discovery of the Sugarland 95 site. And it was a part of the local Black History Month event series out there. So it was a good event. Good to see people.
Very nice. And we also, as I mentioned, it's Fat Tuesday. We're going to talk more about that in a second because we got a special guest who's going to join us. But we want to thank everyone watching us live on Facebook and YouTube. You can catch us just about every morning when HCC is in session, live at 10 a.m. Nick, they can also find us in social media and on HCCTV as well.
That's right, Todd. We're everywhere. We're live on the Houston Community College Facebook page and YouTube. We're also on Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and on HCCTV at noon, 5, and 10 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Okay, stick around because your interview's coming up in just a few moments. But first, I want to introduce our second guest who'll be joining us as Tasty Tuesday. It's also Fat Tuesday, Mardi Gras. We've got Yolonda, Chef Yo Henry, founder of Nuksy's Fine Catering. Chef Yo, good to see you. Can you turn your mic on? Let's see. I think your mic is muted right now.
Good morning, Todd.
Good morning. Yeah, good to see you. I know you've got a special dish you're going to be preparing. We also want to hear all about your catering service and everything you got going on. Stick around. We'll be with you in about 10 minutes.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
All right. I'm going to turn things over to Nick. And Nick, you've got a special guest as well. It's going to talk about the Adjunct Academy.
That's right. I'd like to congratulate special recipient of an award just announced by our HCC Chancellor, Professor Jenny Vaca. She's the program director for Houston Community College's Adjunct Academy. She's an English and Communications faculty senator, and she is now the League of Innovation Excellent Award recipient. Welcome back to the show, Jenny. We're excited to discuss all of this with you.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Well, to remind our viewers, you and 4 others from HCC are going to receive awards at an upcoming Tempe, Arizona conference. What is the League of Innovation Leadership Excellence Award?
So the League of Innovation is a separate national organization, and different faculty members or leaders can be recognized by their institutions at the League of Innovation conference. This year, it's going to be held in Arizona. Unfortunately, I have a prior commitment that is not enabling me to go, although the recipients were invited to the Board of Trustees meeting on February 15th, where we were presented with our awards. See, I've got mine.
Beautiful.
It's enormous. It's even bigger than my degrees.
You can hang it up soon.
Oh, yes, definitely. And it is it's a wonderful honor to be recognized, and, you know, it's a reflection not only of the colleagues who would have recognized me and the other recipients, but then also just the community at large. You know, it's good that we have these people that can be recognized. And in fact, one of my fellow leadership recipients was Dr. Zach Hodges, who is our Northwest president. And he was intrinsic to the beginning of the Adjunct Academy when we were based out at Northwest.
And I imagine the work he's done with the new Katy campus has also played a big role in his winning this innovation award as well.
Oh, I'm sure.
So, Professor Vaca, you are a leader in several HCC initiatives. Your primary one is the Adjunct Academy. Tell our viewers what that is and what's exciting going on in the Adjunct Academy this year.
Yes, of course. So the Adjunct Academy, we have been around since 2008. At that time, we were still located out at the Northwest colleges. But since then, and especially due to centralization, we are now a district-wide program. And in short, the Adjunct Academy is a faculty-led professional development program. It's comprised of several workshops that span over the academic year. And we are getting close to about having 500 adjuncts have completed that program since its inception in 2008. It's quite different now. We still have our faculty facilitators. Due to COVID, we did move from a face-to-face model to completely online, where those workshops have now been, I would say, transposed into some asynchronous components and synchronous components. Yet what we are really excited about is that return to the face-to-face cohort. And the cohort is when our adjunct participants sign up, they are placed with a group of other adjuncts or participants, and they stay with that cohort throughout the experience of the Adjunct Academy. And these groups are multidisciplinary. We have adjuncts that have just started teaching for the very first time. And then we even have adjuncts who've been teaching for 25 years. So everybody comes in with their own story to tell. And I think what largely ends up happening in these kind of cohorts, and this is why the cohort model is very powerful in many different scenarios, is that you're able to build this very unique collective knowledge from the different individuals that comprise that group of people. So you get to basically learn from others, is a simpler way of saying that. Possibly bogart some really great ideas from a chemistry instructor and drop those into your philosophy class. But it's all about the shared knowledge. And of course, it's this great community experience, and it increases the institutional awareness of HCC, because I don't know if everybody out there knows this, but HCC is pretty big.
It is a big institution for sure. And I'll say this, I know a lot, well, I'd say a few history faculty in the history adjunct pool who've gone through the Adjunct Academy and have had just absolutely positive experiences. So I'm grateful that this program exists, that it's faculty led and faculty participation, and that you enroll a new cohort every year. Looking forward to the return of some of that being done in person again, of course. So for faculty, adjunct faculty that are interested in this, we'll post some notes after the show so they can find you and sign up and join in. But I have another question for you. You also serve on the Faculty Senate, and on the Faculty Senate, you're on the Professional Development and Conferences Committee as co-chair. There seems to be a theme here. What about professional development motivates you to be so involved and so passionate about it?
Sure. There's this great quote that many famous authors have many different iterations of. Flannery O'Connor, Joan Didion, and the quote goes something like, "I don't know what I think until I read what I write." Just let that sit for a moment. But in essence, what it means is, you can have a lot of noise that's going on up in your head. And I think especially over COVID, where we really were just trying to get through the motions, you kind of go into a default setting, but we don't really have the time or the space to consider, why we're doing what we're doing, what exactly it is that we're doing. And then the final piece is, how can we be even stronger in those different practices once we've identified them? And professional development, which is sometimes confused with something like compliance training, which are not quite the same thing. Professional development is really about that introspection and reflection about whatever it is that you do in whatever industry you're in, and how you identify with it. And again, how you can create those, I'm going to say best practices, but to get a little bit more in touch with that and just be more present in your craft. So in all ways, professional development, I think it really grounds us in what we do. And I think it also helps us appreciate our community, and it also develops a culture.
Well, one thing that I've noticed in Adjunct Academy and Faculty Senate service is a focus on our adjunct faculty. Tell me what you think about the value that our adjunct faculty bring to the teaching instruction, as well as what we do for them in the professional development. Why the focus on adjunct instructors for you?
I mean, I think almost all of us came to HCC as adjuncts.
I
or
certainly
wherever,
did. Yeah,
yes,
I did.
wherever
I
our
certainly did.
teaching career is, I came to HCC actually as a tutor and then started as an adjunct. So in a lot of ways, the adjunct is kind of where that teaching career begins. It's not necessarily always there, but I think for most of us it is. And one of the challenges of that part-time instructional position is, whether you're in workforce, academic, or, continuing education, there is a sense of isolation being in that part-time instructional or workforce role. You don't necessarily even have the physical space at your campuses. And, you might even be teaching at multiple institutions, which can create all kinds of distance, from the community that you're teaching in. So, for those reasons, I really have dedicated a lot of my focus on the professional development of adjuncts so that, we are building those, future leaders and instructors for tomorrow. But then, not all of our adjuncts necessarily want to have a full-time job either. But what they are saying when they become involved in professional development is that they are making a commitment to teaching. So in that case, they're still on this path of becoming a lifelong learner as well as educator. So we're helping where we can.
Excuse me. Well, thank you. I want to congratulate you again on the League of Innovation Excellence Award. It's well deserved. And also, I think HCC would all like to thank you for the work you do for Faculty Academy and Faculty Senate, for the adjuncts especially. We didn't even get a chance to talk about Beta Ormond and Faculty Conference and Faculty Retreat, but you've been involved in all of these things in the background, in the planning, in the development. So again, congratulations on the award.
Thank you. And if you guys are around on March 24th, come and hang out with us for the faculty conference. And last thing, just want to give a shout out to Chef Yo and Nuksy's. We've had this wonderful catering service provide some wonderful and beautiful dinners for us in the past, between a mix of Beta Ormond and some Adjunct Academy graduations. So it's good to see you on the show as well, Chef Yo.
Thank you. We'll have notes after the show for anybody interested in Adjunct Academy. Thank you again.
All right, thank you both, and we're going to welcome Chef Yo onto the show. It's we've got a lot going on today, Chef. It's we're in the midst of Black History Month. We've got Fat Tuesday, and it's the Mardi Gras. A lot going on. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Absolutely, pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. And so let's talk about Nuksy's table, because I know you, as we just heard, you've done a lot of things with HCC in the past. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about your background in the history of getting to the restaurants. I know you guys had to change things up around COVID as well.
Right. Well, we started 20 years ago as Nuksy's Fine Catering. And so we've been in the Houston area for 20 years. Thank you, Houston, for making sure that we stay very vibrant and in your homes. So yeah, for fast forward, started out in Stafford. We still have one location in Stafford. We have our second corporate office in the Arena Towers. And our third location was downtown Houston at 1926 West Dallas, which was called Nuksy's Table. Nuksy's Table came about as a COVID pivot to give our customers a COVID-safe dining experience. So we really had a great time doing Houston Restaurant Week, Black Restaurant Week, and it really gave us an opportunity to give our clients a outlet to get out of the house and come in and dine. Yes.
Let's talk about the food itself. How would you describe your food? What can people expect to see on your menu?
Oh, well, we are definitely Cajun and Creole inspired. I am from Opelousas and Lafayette, Louisiana. So all of our food has a Cajun flair, but we are internationally trained. And so we can do we have a very diverse menu that you can select from.
Well, I can certainly associate with that because I'm from New Orleans originally, so definitely love Cajun, Creole, all that stuff. You talked about your corporate office. You guys are in Arena Towers, is that correct?
That's correct. So our corporate office is in Arena Tower, in the first tower, suite 1065.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how have you guys expanded over the last several years? Have you seen a lot of growth now that COVID is kind of fading away? It's always going to be here, but people seem to be wanting to get out more and more now. Have you guys grown with that?
Yes, actually, COVID was quite an experience for us. We had an opportunity to really scale and learn new ways of doing business and pivoting into different markets. Currently now we're producing our retail space with our spices. So COVID has allowed us to take some time to think about production and other ways of getting in front of our customers. So now we have a spice line. We also have a beverage line. We have a steak rub, a vegetable spice, and chicken dust, as well as our signature tea punch, lemonade, and strawberry lemonade. So it definitely has opened up some new opportunities for prepackaged meals, curbside services. So we definitely have expanded on the restaurant concept in our catering space.
So let's talk about what you've got in front of you here, because you got a dish that you prepared for us. And I would imagine they're serving a bunch of these maybe in NOLA at this time.
At this time, catfish po' boys, yes.
Yeah.
One of Louisiana favorites. Today we serve this to all of our guests in our meal prep service team at Amazon, and so we have a catfish po' boys. So everybody always asks me, how do you get it crispy? How does it stay fresh and crunchy? And so the secret to it is the mix, the batter. So right. Our batter, we use coarse grain cornmeal as well as fish fry, and seasoning, a lot of Cajun spices and lemon pepper. So that's a few of the tricks to frying great catfish.
And when you're making a po' boy sandwich, do you have it dressed or just with very little things on it? What would be the perfect po' boy sandwich for you?
So the perfect po' boy sandwich for me is a French bread, nice toasty French bread. We also heat the French bread, make it a little bit more toasty with a little garlic butter on there. And then we dress it with tomatoes, Louisiana tartar sauce, homemade, and a green leaf lettuce. Some people like pickles, jalapenos. Yeah. Change it up a little bit, but our basic po' boy has that Louisiana homemade Louisiana sauce.
Gotta love that. Let me ask you this too, because when I first moved to Houston from New Orleans, it was many, many years ago. I'm not going to say how many, but just take my word for it. It was a long time ago. But we found a hard time in Houston getting good French bread. And our relatives used to bring it in from, whenever they'd come visit us. But things seem to change now. Can you find good French bread here in the Houston area? I mean, it seems like over the last 20, 30 years, they've really gotten their act here together in Houston and making some good French bread.
They really do. We actually have a bakery that we source from on a broad line, but Restaurant Depot has a really nice brand right now. Sam's is carrying some good French bread. Walmart even has a really good batch, and all of those are brought in. They're baking fresh in the bakeries, and so I think that's what's making the big difference between great French bread versus your box package, because they are actually bringing those in and using those bakeries to bake fresh breads.
Once again, all of your spices and your line of products are available. You're going to have a retail store, but people can also buy them online. Is that correct?
Right. So we're setting up our retail store on Nuksys.com, and that's spelled NUKSYS.com. It will actually launch on March the 1st. So that site will be available where you can purchase our spices.
Well, Chef, we always love seeing you around HCC. I know I'll be seeing you soon, probably in person again. We appreciate you being here and telling us all about Nuksy's. And we are going to have all your information in our social media posts where people can find you.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right, take care. And that po' boy looks really good, by the way.
Enjoy.
Take care, Chef. All right. We've got a few announcements, Nick, before we wrap up today's show. Let's go ahead and kick those off. The Veteran Leadership Program is taking place.
That's right. As part of achieving their personal growth potential, veterans will receive a premium executive package free to veteran members, complimentary assessment and course materials, and a personal action plan. All they need to do is go to the HCC Southwest Missouri City campus tomorrow, Tuesday, February, it's today, today's not Monday. This is today, Tuesday, February 21st from 5 to 9 p.m. Check our post after the show for the link to register.
I know it seems like a Monday. When you have that holiday on a Monday, it's great, but you should show up to work because yesterday you think all day yesterday was Sunday, but it was really Monday. So we're really confused here, folks. One thing that's not confusing, the Black History Celebration through the arts, that's happening tonight, 7:30 p.m., February the 21st, of course. It's at the HCC Southwest West Loop campus in their auditorium. It is free, and it's HCC's music department and student life, as well as the Houston Jazz Orchestra, all celebrating the impact of jazz on American culture. Happens tonight. It's a free event. We'll have some information in our post after the show. And also there's a Building a Community of Winners event that's coming up as well.
That's right. Thursday, virtually at 7 p.m., HCC's Black History Month events continue. We have a virtual Black History Scholarship Gala sponsored by the HCC Foundation and hosted on fox26houston.com. Check our post after the show for the link to register. But again, that is Thursday, 7 p.m. virtual.
And HCC wants you here as an adjunct. We talked about it earlier in the show when Nick was interviewing Jenny about the importance of adjuncts. Well, HCC is looking for adjunct faculty with a faculty fair. It happens 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Saturday, February the 25th. I believe that's the Saturday at HCC Southwest West Loop campus. We'll have some information in our post after the show. And we've also got HCC is up for the League of Innovation of the Year award.
That's right. This is the same award, for example, that Professor Vaca won as an individual, but HCC can be considered for the prestigious National Innovation of the Year award as an institution, and a selection committee will choose one innovation. Please submit innovation nominations meeting one or more of the following: quality, efficiency, cost effectiveness, replication, creativity, or timeliness. The deadlines for nominations are Wednesday, March 2nd at 5 p.m. Previous HCC award recipients include the Work Texas at Gallery Furniture powered by HCC, the Weekend College, the Academic Dashboard, the UT Tyler HCC Engineering Partnership, and our HCC Transformation. To submit a nomination, complete the form in your email inbox. We'll have more notes after the show.
All right. And it is time, folks. That's right. Time to register. If you still want to get some classes in, believe it or not, the semester is moving along, but you can still register. Second start's already underway, but we do have shorter sessions. Still have to take the same amount of credit hours in a very more accelerated routine. 5 ways to learn: online anytime, online in a schedule, hybrid classes, in-person classes, and we've also got hybrid labs, which are a mixture of online and in-person, of course. To learn more about these programs, start dates, and your options, along with the cost associated with it, and finding your financial aid, go to one website, hccs.edu/apply. So tomorrow, we are excited to have 2 special guests for Black History Month, Dr. Helen Graham and Kamal Siddiqui, who will present Diving with a Purpose, Whispers from the Waters, about their search for slave ships. That'll happen tomorrow, and we'll be congratulating another individual League of Innovation honoree. Ana Maria Lopez will be here tomorrow, interim dean of student success for HCC's Southwest College. Got a big week ahead of us, even though it's a shorter week. Nick, are you going to go out and maybe do a little celebrating for the Mardi Gras today?
No, I don't think I'll do that today. I got a busy day, but I will be at the Diving with a Purpose event tomorrow in Missouri City, and I will be at the job fair on Saturday for the Adjunct Job Fair. So I got a lot going on.
You got a busy week ahead of you. Nick, thanks for being here today. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
And thank you all for joining us. We're live again tomorrow, 10 a.m. right here for Up to the Minute. See you then.